Hello, let me hit this button so it doesn't distract me. Sorry. All right. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. My name is Whitney. I am an area manager and independent consultant with Arbonne, and I've been partnered with the company for just shy of 3 years now. When I got started with Arbonne, I was working from home full time with my three boys, so 40 hours a week at home with my three boys with me at the same time. They were 8 years old, 4 years old, and 11 months. And the burnout and overwhelm was at an all-time high. I was definitely operating in a state of survival mode. My house looked like the kids were running the show most of the time. I really struggled with staying on top of clutter. There were almost always dirty dishes in my sink. So if someone showed up like without prior notice, I would have been mortified. My patience was almost non-existent with everyone. I was just missing things left and right, struggling to track things, and I pretty much felt like I was on the verge of a mental breakdown most days. So I just felt like I was in this place where I was just doing everything I could to keep my head above water. When I made this decision to join Arbonne, it was after probably about 6 months of thinking about it. I was not prioritizing taking care of myself, and I was fully aware of that. My nutrition was awful. I was extremely unhappy with my weight, so weight management was a huge motivator for me at that time. But over that 6 months of when I was thinking about it, I kind of on accident started learning about the gut brain connection. And I realized if I could get my nutrition in a better place, that everything else would probably start to fall into place when it came to being able to take care of myself. And that was kind of what my main priority was at that time. So I took the leap and did the 30 Days to Healthy Living program, thinking that it was just going to help me hit reset on my nutrition, jumpstart my weight loss journey. But when I tell you that my whole world changed about 12 days into this program, I am not even exaggerating. So before Arbonne, I was the person who rolled my eyes at people who took supplements. I never read ingredients. I just didn't care that much about it. But how I felt 12 days in made me realize a lot of the struggle that I was going through in motherhood and just feeling overwhelmed and everything wasn't normal, just part of life. I was being weighed down by the food that I was eating. So, kind of besides the areas that you normally think about when you think about nutrition that changed for me, such as weight loss, bloating, digestion, those type of things, there were three areas of my life that I experienced like a complete 180 in that made me realize all of this. And just a little bit of like knowledge kind of going into it is poor nutrition, especially diets high in sugar, processed foods, low in fiber, which was fully what I was doing. I was surviving off of coffee and goldfish crackers for about a year. Um, can disrupt the balance of good and bad bacteria in your gut. And when your gut is out of balance, it can lead to inflammation in the body, which shows up as fatigue, brain fog, mood swings, digestive issues, trouble sleeping, the list goes on. And over time, that chronic inflammation puts stress on like everywhere in your body. And making everyday life just seem harder, such as motherhood. So by focusing on gut health and better nutrition, you can reduce that inflammation, restore the balance in your gut, and feel more energy and clear-minded and all of that stuff. So I kind of mentioned a little bit in there, but one of the main areas that I felt a huge difference in was energy. And kind of like, I don't know why it was mind-blowing to me, but it was light bulb moment is food is energy at the end of the day. Like that is where our body should be getting its fuel to go about the day. And I was the girl who was quite literally living off of coffee and processed foods for the most part. So I probably had two things going on for me personally. Number one, I wasn't eating enough nutrient-dense foods to have energy to begin with, surviving off of just caffeine and junk. But also because I was surviving off of just caffeine and junk, I probably had so much gut inflammation going on that my gut couldn't even absorb nutrients when I was eating those healthy foods. So when I gave my body that chance to like kind of breathe, hit reset, flush out all of the crap that was holding me down, I went from drinking 3 to 6 cups of coffee a day to the equivalent of two a day. I was waking up energized and ready to go. I no longer felt like I needed to take a nap most days. And I didn't have that zombie mom walk feeling by the time dinner rolled around. So huge difference when it came to my energy levels. Another shift that I felt that was like life-changing, sorry, was my mood. Mentioned earlier, there's that gut-brain connection. 90% of our serotonin, so our happy, feel-good hormone, is produced in our gut. So when our gut is out of whack, that is going to be out of whack. And that magical 12-day mark is also when I noticed I felt like I could conquer the world. The overwhelm was gone. I was kinder to my kids, to my husband, to myself. I just felt like I was in control of things again at that 12-day mark of just taking care of myself. And then the other area that I felt a huge difference that I actually didn't know was as bad as what it was until I felt what it was like to not feel that way was my brain fog. I mentioned earlier that I was struggling to track things. I was forgetting things. Um, Mom brain was, I blamed it all on mom brain. Like I thought that was what it was just being a mom of 3 kids. Um, 12 days in, that was gone. Like I could process things again. I could think clearly. I wasn't forgetting. It was crazy the difference that everything made. And just without going on and on forever, what I found in just as simple as 12 days of eating healthy and supporting your gut, that I was jumping out of bed ready to go in the day. Like I wasn't hitting snooze 8 million times. Um, the chores like dishes were no longer daunting. I was able to stay on top of like everything within the house. I was more motivated, obviously with chores and stuff, but also just to be the fun mom. Like I wasn't as snappy with my kids. I wanted to play with my kids, do things like that. I wasn't so stressed out. I didn't feel stretched as thin anymore. And life just overall felt easier for me. And that was all through changing my nutrition. So let's kind of talk about how Arbonne fits into all of this and why Arbonne is a good choice. So Arbonne has actually been around for 45 years. We were established in 1980, and we have been leading the way since then. It like doing it before it was the cool trending thing in clean, safe for you products. We are global, so we are in 5 different countries. I think it is Canada, UK, Australia, Poland, and New Zealand. And we are also a certified B Corp. And basically, what that means is we put people in the planet first. And I think we're leading the way in 2 of the categories. We're the number one of the categories, number one of two, number one of the categories. So we're leading the way in that as well. Arbonne's ingredient policy is amazing. So I'm going to sound contradictory. When I said I didn't read ingredients, I didn't read ingredients, but I did actually care. I just didn't want to put the mind work into doing all of the research. That was overwhelming to me. So what I loved was that I could trust Arbonne's ingredient policy. It is higher now because the United States banned food dyes, but for a while we were sitting at like right around 12 ingredients banned to be toxic or harmful. European Union is at 1,400. Arbonne goes above and beyond that at over 2,000 ingredients banned. We are botanically based. We don't have any mineral oil, pH correct and hypoallergenic, no artificial sugars, sweeteners are used in any of our products. We are gluten-free, non-GMO, and kosher, vegan certified, no parabens or phthalates, and we don't use any artificial dyes or fragrances. And then I talked about the nutrition line. So we have our amazing nutrition products that include weight management, sports nutrition, but we have over 400 products that you can choose from to include personal care like shampoo, conditioner, deodorant, toothpaste. We have a baby care line that has sunscreen, body wash, diaper rash cream. We have multiple skincare lines you can choose from. Amazing makeup that just came out. That's like what my whole entire face is right now is with all of that new makeup that I'm loving. And all of our products come with a 90-day money back guarantee. So if you get something and you just aren't loving it, you can return it within that 90-day window to get your money back. Um, so then I I kind of mentioned there were three things that really drew me to Arbonne. So that third one is the business side of things. So if you aren't familiar with Arbonne at all, they are a network marketing company, and kind of the difference between network marketing and traditional retailing is basically just all the middlemen are taking out of it. So traditional retail, you have the manufacturers, the wholesaler, the warehouser, the advertiser, the retailers, and then it goes to the consumer. With network marketing, Arbonne, you have the manufacturer. Independent consultants like myself go and share about all the products that we love and think that are super amazing. The consumers buy it, we get a commission from that. That's basically how it works. And Arbonne is also amazing because as a company, there is the marketplace demand for the clean, safe products that everyone is looking for these days. We've been leading the way with it, staying on top of the timing and trends for everything. And then just all of our products are consumable products. So people are going to use the products, fall in love with the products, rebuy the products. Most of them are on like a 30-day cycle for that. So it's like a really good like business opportunity when you look at it that way. Plus, there's only like a 1 to 3% brand awareness. So not a lot of people actually know about Arbonne. So there's a lot of opportunity there. The compensation plan for Arbonne is a very simple plan. It is all volume-based, which I love. There's 4 levels of management that you can promote through. Everyone starts off as an independent consultant. Your first level is going to be district manager. Average monthly range is from $300 to $1,900 a month. Your second level is then area manager. That is the level that I'm at. Average earnings around $1,500 a month. This is also something very awesome, but your business becomes willable at this point. So when something happens to me, because that day will come eventually, my business will continue on to whoever I put in my will for it to continue on to. So as long as there is a business there, it will keep providing for my family. So it's a generational wealth essentially for it. Next level is going to be regional vice president. That level, 6,000 a month average. It's also the level that you get it's commonly referred to as the Mercedes-Benz cash bonus. You get a monthly bonus for your car. There's another option if you don't want to drive a white Mercedes that you can choose. And then the fourth level is national vice president, 22,000 a month, no glass ceiling. You get a little bit higher of a bonus towards your car. Um, there's also opportunities to earn travel. We have an incentive trip right around the corner for Tulum for people who have earned it. Tons of recognition and jewelry opportunities as well. And you can go to earnings.arbonne.com to see what's typical and what's possible at all different so with all of that, there are 3 ways that you can get started today. Number one is just to go to the website and shop and pay full retail. We don't really recommend that for people. What we recommend is that most people go the preferred client route. It is $29 for the year, depending on your order when you get started. Right now, I think there's a way that you can get it for free this month as well. You're going to save 20 to 30% on all of your orders. You're going to get free shipping and a free product with qualified orders. You have, like I said, that 90-day money back guarantee. And there's no minimum order or auto ship order requirements to be a preferred client. You just order as much as you want when you want. And then the third way is the route that I went right off the bat, and that is to sign up as a consultant. It is $99 for the year, I believe, to become a consultant. You're going to save 35 to 45% on your products. You're going to earn weekly commissions based off of your sales. You're going to use monthly overrides based off of total team sales. And like I mentioned, there's all the opportunities for other bonuses and awards and stuff like that. And that is all that I have for you guys today. If you have any questions, go ahead and reach back out to whoever invited you to this call, and have a great night.
I'm gonna interrupt real quick, Wit, because
Okay.
I want to highlight something that I'm very
Okay.
impressed with, that you've been able to do, and I think it's really like your calling in not just, and I think that you're being very humble about it. And I want to brag on you for a minute because I think it's the gift that you're going to be able to give to so many other moms. And not only did you talk about your health and being able to have a little bit more flexibility with your time, but I want you to share very clearly that you were able to leave a job, a full-time job with benefits, working for the state that most people would kill to have, and you got to a place where with your kiddos, you needed to be home with them, and you were
Hmm.
able to leave that corporate job and be completely all in with your kids because of Arbonne. So I would love for you to share just like a little bit of why you made that switch.
Yeah. So I mentioned that I signed up right off the bat as a consultant. Because part of my research was I looked into the compensation plan a lot. I dug into it, did my homework beforehand. So my middle son was the year before I joined diagnosed with nonverbal autism. And we were in a battle of, which was part of my overwhelm, thrown into figuring out navigating autism. So all of the evaluations, doctor's appointments, specialists, ABA therapy, speech therapy, occupational therapy, developmental preschool, like it was a lot to navigate. And at the time, Washington State offers an amazing paid family leave program where you can take the time away from work to deal with that. But I knew it wasn't something that was fair to my employer and also myself to do that long term. Um, and I also struggled with that. I take a lot of pride in the work that I do. I struggled with how and giving I just like it was there where I needed to start putting my family first. Like I couldn't do the balancing act anymore. But like a lot of families, our household ran off of two incomes. And so I needed to find a way to kind of bridge that gap where I could leave my full-time job with everything so I could be home with my kids. And I was able to do that with Arbonne. What was it was like a year, just over a year. And like my disclosure, not like typical. My journey isn't typical, but it is like completely possible that I was able to do that.
I love
Life
that.
changing.
Yeah, that area manager, I mean, the average time is about, I think I did about a year and a half also. And I think that that's very, very doable for a lot of people. And I think that especially when your why is big enough, like yours, and when your why drives you, and it's like you get to not just be home with your kids, but still have something that like you're passionate about and you get to help other people. You're improving your health and your family's health the whole time. And then now you're also getting to, live your life by design where you're getting to choose when and how you're spending that time. And then also the part that you touched on that's my favorite is that it is effort based. I worked a corporate job before that was not effort based. I knew a lot of people that didn't work as hard as I did, and their income didn't change. I worked my tail off, and my income didn't change either. But in Arbonne, it's different, and you're a living example of that. So I'm really excited for you guys, and I'm really excited for whatever the next chapter in your Arbonne business looks like because I know whatever that it is going to be, like whatever this next step is for you and growing your business, your family's going to benefit, which is like the opposite of most careers and most businesses. It's like if our businesses in other industries or other corporate jobs, if that business is growing or your job is growing, usually our family suffers. And
Hmm.
so I love that I get to watch you through this journey and watch your kiddos and watch you be able to spend that time with them. So I'm very thankful for that, and I just know that you're just gonna pave the way for so many other women to do the same thing. So I'm very, very thankful for your journey and your health journey and all the other people in your business who get to be along with you on that. So super proud of you. So thank you, Miss Whitney. so
Thank
much.
you.
Have a good night, everybody.